Section 58 of English Synonyms and Antonyms. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Estelle Jobson. English Synonyms and Antonyms by James Champlin Fernald. From send to shake. Send. Synonyms: cast, dart, delegate, depute, dispatch, discharge, dismiss, drive, emit, fling, forward, hurl, impel, lance, launch, project, propel, sling, throw, transmit. To send is to cause to go or pass from one place to another, and always in fact or thought away from the agent or agency that controls the act. Send in its most common use involves personal agency without personal presence. According to the adage, if you want your business done, go; if not, send. One sends a letter or a bullet, a messenger or a message. In all the derived uses the same idea controls. If one sends a ball into his own heart, the action is away from the directing hand, and he is viewed as the passive recipient of his own act. It is with an approach to personification that we speak of the bow sending the arrow, or the gun the shot. To dispatch is to send hastily or very promptly, ordinarily with a destination in view. To dismiss is to send away from oneself without reference to a destination, as to dismiss a clerk, an application, or an annoying subject. To discharge is to send away so as to relieve a person or thing of a load. We discharge a gun, or discharge the contents. As applied to persons, discharge is a harsher term than dismiss. To emit is to send forth from within, with no reference to a destination, as the sun emits light and heat. Transmit from the Latin is a dignified term, often less vigorous than the Saxon send, but preferable at times in literary or scientific use, as to transmit the crown or the feud from generation to generation. To transmit a charge of electricity. Transmit fixes the attention more on the intervening agency, as send does upon the points of departure and destination. Antonyms: bring, carry, convey, get, give, hand, hold, keep, receive, retain. Prepositions: to send from the hand to or toward, rarely at, a mark. Send to a friend by a messenger or by mail. Send a person into banishment. Send a shell among the enemy. Sensation. Synonyms: emotion, feeling, perception, sense. Sensation is the mind's consciousness due to a bodily affection, as of heat or cold. Perception is the cognition of some external object which is the cause or occasion of the sensation. The sensation of heat may be connected with the perception of a fire. While sensations are connected with the body, emotions, as joy, grief, etc., are wholly of the mind. As the most of them, the sensations, are positively agreeable, or the opposite, they are nearly akin to those emotions, as hope or terror, or those passions, as anger and envy, which are acknowledged by all to belong exclusively to the spirit, and to involve no relation whatever to matter or the bodily organism. Such feelings are not infrequently styled sensations, though improperly. Porter, Human Intellect, section 112, page 128. Section 90. Feeling is a general term popularly denoting what is felt, whether through the body or by the mind alone, and includes both sensation and emotion. A sense is an organ or faculty of sensation or of perception. Sensibility. Synonyms: feeling, impressibility, sensitiveness, susceptibility. Sensibility in the philosophical sense denotes the capacity of emotion or feeling as distinguished from the intellect and the will. Compare synonyms for sensation. In popular use, sensibility denotes sometimes capacity of feeling of any kind, as sensibility to heat or cold, sometimes a peculiar readiness to be the subject of feeling, especially of the higher feelings, as the sensibility of the artist or the poet. A person of great or fine sensibility. Sensitiveness denotes an especial delicacy of sensibility, ready to be excited by the slightest cause, as displayed, for instance, in the sensitive plant. Susceptibility is rather a capacity to take up, receive, and, as it were, to contain feeling, so that a person of great susceptibility is capable of being not only readily but deeply moved. Sensitiveness is more superficial, susceptibility more pervading. Thus, in physics, the sensitiveness of a magnetic needle is the ease with which it may be deflected, as by another magnet. Its susceptibility is the degree to which it can be magnetized by a given magnetic force, or the amount of magnetism it will hold. So a person of great sensitiveness is quickly and keenly affected by any external influence, as by music, pathos, or ridicule, while a person of great susceptibility is not only touched but moved to his inmost soul. Antonyms: coldness, deadness, hardness, insensibility, numbness, unconsciousness. Prepositions: the sensibility of the organism to atmospheric changes. Severe. Synonyms: austere, hard, harsh, inexorable, inflexible, morose, relentless, rigid, rigorous, stern, stiff, strict, uncompromising, unmitigated, unrelenting, unyielding. That is severe which is devoid of all softness, mildness, tenderness, indulgence, or levity, or, in literature and art, devoid of unnecessary ornament, amplification, or embellishment of any kind; as, a severe style; as said of anything painful. Severe signifies such as heavily taxes endurance or resisting power; as, a severe pain, fever, or winter. Rigid signifies primarily stiff, resisting any effort to change its shape. A corpse is said to be rigid in death. Hence, in metaphorical sense, a rigid person or character is one that resists all efforts to change the will or course of conduct. A rigid rule or statement is one that admits of no deviation. Rigorous is nearly akin to rigid, but is a stronger word, having reference to action or active qualities, as rigid does to state or character. A rigid rule may be rigorously enforced. Strict (Latin stringo, bind) signifies bound or stretched tight, tense, strenuously exact. Stern unites harshness and authority with strictness or severity. Stern, as said even of inanimate objects, suggests something authoritative or forbidding. Austere signifies severely simple or temperate, strict in self-restraint or discipline, and similarly unrelenting toward others. We speak of austere morality, rigid rules, rigorous discipline, stern commands, severe punishment, harsh speech, or a harsh voice, hard requirements, strict injunctions, and strict obedience. Strict discipline holds one exactly and unflinchingly to the rule; rigorous discipline punishes severely any infraction of it. The austere character is seldom lovely, but it is always strong and may be grand, commanding, and estimable. Antonyms: affable, bland, easy, genial, gentle, indulgent, lenient, mild, pliable, soft, sweet, tender, tractable, yielding. Shake. Synonyms: agitate, brandish, flap, fluctuate, flutter, jar, joggle, jolt, jounce, oscillate. Quake, quaver, quiver, reel, rock. Shiver, shudder, sway, swing, thrill, totter, tremble, vibrate, wave, waver. A thing is shaken which is subjected to short and abruptly checked movements, as forward and backward, up and down, from side to side, etc. A tree is shaken with a mighty wind. A man slowly shakes his head. A thing rocks that is sustained from below. It swings, if suspended from above, as a pendulum, or pivoted at the side as a crane or a bridge draw. To oscillate is to swing with a smooth and regular returning motion; a